Hello, it's Hog here. Gorgeous day. Today I'm going to be talking about why I decided to get this bike, an SV650S. When I did my license, the restricted license, it's under the fairly recent rules, I think the 2013 rules, where it has to be restricted to 46.6 horsepower, 47 horsepower, which was great because it actually meant there was a broad range of second-hand bikes which were going cheaply, which could be restricted. I could have got one of the Triumph Sprint Executive, which I think is a 955, but it's only got like 94 horsepower, which in theory I could have restricted legally. I could have ridden that, a litre bike. But I thought, I'll get something which is just a bit smaller capacity, something which I'm not, more to my comfort rather than going straight onto a litre bike. So I got a Suzuki 650, one because it's cheap, two, people swear by them. When it comes to maintenance, okay, they're a little high maintenance, with like Suzukis generally are, but their parts are widely available. I got this one when it was on 28,000 miles. I've ridden it for 6,000 miles, and since then it's had new shoes, tyres, new chain and sprocket, it's had new brake pads, I've put some new levers on. But other than that, it's a really good bike. That's the standard wear and tear. And plus it's a V-twin. I had the choice between either getting a V-twin or an inline 4. Let's be honest, there weren't many other choices. That's kind of like the bog standard bike. I did my test on an inline 4. I did it on the Yamaha XJ600 diversion. I think it was the 2012 model or something, or the newer model basically. I liked it and I didn't like it at the same time. It felt wide, it felt lopey. And because I'm a short rider, I wanted something which was a bit narrower. So then I kind of went for the twin. Bearing in mind that the bike that I had before, when I was on my CVT and before I did my test, I had a Honda Shadow VT 125. It was a gorgeous bike, and in fact I miss it. It's kind of what I like, and the sound of a V-twin, I like it as well. Usability. I had to consider what I'd be using the bike for. Would I be using it for long-term commuting? Would I be using it for everything? Would it just be track? Would it be just general road use? Would it just be pop into shop? I thought it had to be, get over you prick, sorry. It had to be used for everything. And of course with inline 4s, they don't produce as much torque and you're having to rev them more, they're not as efficient because there are more cylinders. So I thought, hey, a V-twin, usability of torque, it's fantastic around town, it's narrow enough to get around town also, because it's only a V-twin configuration, so it's not as wide. You need very little revs just to get the bike moving, it's fantastic. So some people might say, well, that makes it an easy ride. And I'm thinking, well, I'm not going to lie, but so what? I don't care. If it's an easy ride, that's perfect for me, because up until this point, I've only ever ridden a 125. It's only been about 10 months since I passed my full test. I'm still on an A2, and it's restricted. I want something which is easy, because for me, I find riding a motorcycle is something I want to do for the rest of my life. Getting a car, I'll get one if I really have to. But there are just so many joys of a motorcycle. One is the adrenaline rush, it's the free parking, it's the economy. So like I said, due to my experience, my requirements and my financial position, I thought, hey, the SV is perfect. When I got it, it did 30,000 miles, so it's getting on the point where it's getting slightly high mileage, where it's mid mileage here. I don't mind that. Because my thinking is, if it's a second-hand Jap bike, and it's done 28,000, 30,000 miles, then the chances are, with some TLC, it'll quite happily do another 28,000, 30,000 miles. Another reason why I got a motorcycle is because I felt, hey, after getting a car license, I couldn't afford a car. So I thought, well, I need experience on the road. Because if I'm not on the road, spending time on the road, then that's kind of negates the fact that I did my license, and it feels like I'm going to have to learn being on the road all over again, which sucks. So I don't want that. So I needed something which I could be on the road rather cheaply. So a motorbike served that. But when you're on a motorcycle, your perspective of the road in general and other car users is completely different. Simply because you can look absolutely everywhere, you can hear things, you can smell things, you can see things that in a car you cannot. A car completely detaches you from reality. A motorcycle makes you a part of it. People will say motorcycles are dangerous, but I personally think they're less dangerous because you are vulnerable. You have to be alert. You're not distracted. You're taking into consideration the weather, the condition of your bike. You're having to look after your bike because your life is in your hands rather than being in a metal box on wheels where because you're detached from reality, detached from the road. You don't consider that. You just feel like the car will do everything for you, and all you have to do is use these two lumps on the end of your legs called feet. Would I encourage people to get a motorcycle? Yes and no. As much as I'd love to see lots of people on motorcycles, I see it as a social thing. You get on a motorcycle, you go out with a group of friends, you go out to places, go to the beach, go to towns, get a coffee. It's brilliant. You go out on your bike and you don't know what you're expecting. You go out because you want to find new places, you go out and have a little adventure. You meet new people. I want to share my experiences. Now, thankfully people are quite tolerant, accepting of the fact that I'm a little bit spectrumy in terms of that. I go to people and think, look, I found a thing, look how awesome this thing is. And people are like, yeah, I don't care, but I'll listen anyway. And I'm thinking, okay, thank you for actually giving me a moment just to explain how awesome this thing is. When you get on a bike, you don't shut up about talking about bikes. And within your friendship group, you become that guy who talks about bikes.